In here, oh, this is where you find out what the songs are. I'm trying to remember which ones I really dig on here.
Hey, it's me, old what's his name, welcoming you to a Thursday collection connection. The game that's just an excuse to talk about records. I play the game with my brother, Plastic Eric from the Plastic Soundwave Cult, and you can follow along and play along by subscribing to both channels. In Eric's last turn, he talked about Fuzz, Fuzz 2 specifically. I listened to it, not bad. It definitely is more palatable to me than some of his more thrash metal leanings. Um, really kind of a throwback to the 70s sound, very Black Sabbath, very Jimi Hendrix, very Nuggets compilation. Somewhere between kind of a sludgy doom metal and psychedelia. Probably nothing I would pick up, but it was not hard to listen to. And in making a connection, I thought I would really kind of push the envelope here because I focused on the word fuzz. I thought that'd be a hell of a Scrabble play. I acknowledge that it's only in theory because there's only one Z in Scrabble, but uh, with that acknowledgement, the word fuzz all by itself would be worth 25 points. That would be a pretty good play in Scrabble. So I spent my time, my valuable one life on Earth, looking for another one name band that would score 25 points in Scrabble. And the band that I came up with is Jellyfish. And the album that I chose is their second, Spilt Milk. Now, Spilt Milk draws other similarities to the Fuzz album in that it's a very 70s looking album. Their first album was also very informed by the 70s, but more on the bubblegum side. And it's my favorite. I was going to originally talk about that debut album, but decided for no particular reason, maybe I thought Eric would like it more. I went with Spilt Milk. Feels like much more of a magnum opus. It is the work of primarily Roger Manning or Roger Manning Jr. and Andy Sturmer. They are two founding members who stayed. There were four members of the band, two of which left after the first record, and they only made the two records. And this was very much a kitchen sink record. They poured in all the 70s influences they could from from Queen, definitely a lot of Queen influence, to the Beach Boys, to the Zombies, to Supertramp, and you can almost spot the influence as you're listening to it. But it's very on a grand scale, uh, deep instrumentation, very heavy melodies, overlapping lyrics and things. It's a big work. Uh, Unfortunately for them, it was very out of step with the times in 1993, which is when this album came out. Nobody wanted to hear this kind of big, sort of orchestrated pop music. It was all grunge. And so this is one of many bands killed by Nirvana and the grunge movement. And they did not last after this one album, although it was tensions in the band. Andy Sturmer seemed to alienate everybody around him, is my understanding. In an additional connection to the Fuzz, one of the things I was looking at originally to make a connection with was that Ty Segall, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, of Fuzz, has founded many a band. It's almost like any mood he's in, he forms a band around to really kind of focus on a sound rather than just having a band that makes any sound that they want. Roger Manning, while pretty much keeping in that sort of 70s inflected pop sound, was much the same. He founded many a band And like Ty Segall also has released solo material. So I've been listening to it in the last couple of days. Like I said, I really like the bubblegummy pop of the first album. This has it in moments, like in Sabrina, Paste, and Play-Doh. They use the word Play-Doh like the philosopher, but it's because I'm pretty sure that they didn't have the clearance to use the clay, the kids' building material Play-Doh. But that's a very light song, and there's other light songs that mix in, like The Ghost at Number One. And then there's super heavy songs like Joining a Fan Club. All Is Forgiven is a pummeling song that is probably the most Queen influenced on the album. Russian Hill almost makes me think of XTC at their most pastoral. So kind of later, not 70s XTC, but 80s and beyond, late 80s XTC. But all around, it's a winner. Let's see, I can't think of anything else that I was going to say off the top of my head. But yeah, it's a good album. Jellyfish, certainly one that a certain sort of sophisticated pop connoisseur leaned on heavily. And so I will throw Jellyfish, Spilt Milk from 1993 back over to Eric. And you can look for his response on Monday on his channel, The Plastic Sound Wave Cult. And as far as me, I'm all done. I said my piece, so I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.